according to the emails I just gave you, there was a correspondence between myself, the lead counsel, the AG, and others who were copied, like the two commissioners, that's Abiose George and Primasen, because the chairperson was not an email guy. So I have to, whatever is discussed on email, I have to put it on paper and give it to him if he needs his attention. So I remember that, and then maybe State Attorney Kimbenta, the communication, and also lead counsel's assistant Ananjai. Yeah, these were the people in that. So that email trail that I gave you just now was about them informing us that they have invoked the clause that says it should be put before the High Court. Initially, whether it is an application, you call it or whatever, was prepared by Ananjai, sent to the group, and then shared. It's there on the email. After sharing it, it was run against the AG. All this was done in 2 or 3 days, or 2 days, because the last valuation was, I think, on the 28th or 29th, and as you can see, the order came on the 1st of, or 2nd of January, I don't know. So it's only about 2 or 3 days these email exchanges were happening. I was a bit lost at that moment because I just see emails flying over my head. I received them, but I wasn't legal, and I didn't understand basically what was happening. Maybe now I have a bit more understanding of it, but at that moment, yeah, I know there is a clause which says to the High Court. I didn't understand. Yesterday when I had you, or day before, speaking to the AG and the chairperson, I realized that the High Court order was, an earlier order, and this was put there before the High Court, and then later when I received the order of the High Court that you gave me just now, that's when the lead counsel told me to inform the chairperson about what has transpired. Because it was during the holiday period. It was New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, and then day after New Year's, it came. So everything was outside official working hours, except the day of the order. So when I received it, I informed the chairperson.
Thank you. I refer to your statement, the one that is marked AMK1A.
Yes.
Precisely at page 7, first paragraph, last sentence, where you stated categorically that you played no further role in the subsequent sales.
Last paragraph.
The first paragraph, last line, last sentence.
The first paragraph, yes. Yes, I said, I was later informed by the lead counsel, Amit Bensouda, in a phone call and subsequently in an email that she had communicated with the Attorney General, Batambedu, that a decision or ruling was in place for the sale of the cattle to be handled by the Sheriff Division. I played no further part in the subsequent sales. Yes, sure.
Are you aware whether the Sheriff's Division sold any cattle?
Yes, I came to realize, because after the order was done and I was asked to inform the chairperson, I knew now that the whole process had gone. So I had already prepared my valuation reports, because when these things were happening, I was still struggling, getting my reports, holiday season, New Year's, trying to finish this. So when I finished the report, I pass it to the commissioners, this valuation report, and also the chairperson. And it was mentioned in one of the email communications by the lead counsel that she was advising the chairperson, the AG. The lead counsel was advising the AG that now that the sheriff is in charge, maybe the sheriff should pay attention to the valuation. Well, for me, at that moment, I wasn't, it didn't make any, I mean, how I was indifferent, because I knew it was just a statement. I knew it was not going to go through. So when I saw what happened, like you asked me, am I aware the sheriff saw? Yeah, I saw it, and everybody saw it. I saw the report. Well, I felt that was what we got, because if you put the benachin in one gingerbread and then you take the whole of the rice and so on and transfer it to another place and bring a new set of cooks, I mean, what do you expect? Do you expect to have a fine benachin at the end of the day? How much salt has been added by the other people? You are not there in the process of the valuation, in the process of the tagging, the location of these things, and then you just, well, the order, I agree, said that the sheriff should have done a valuation. But then the lead counsel and the AG already are telling the sheriff, use the valuation of the commission. So in other words, if I am the sheriff, you ask me in an order to do a valuation, but you are the AG and you are the lead counsel, and you are telling me also make reference to the valuation that is done by the commission team. I mean, have the sheriff done a valuation? I don't think so. Has the sheriff got the time to do a valuation? Maybe, maybe not.
So I take it to mean that the office of the sheriff did not report any of the results of the sale process to your office?
No, I have not come across any report, written report from the sheriff. No.
At any time, did the commission request for such reports?
Up to the time I was leaving, I'm not aware of any, nobody instructed me to request for it, because, I mean, and I did not request for it, and I'm not aware of anybody requesting.
I would like to avert your mind to the Constitution, Section 202(1) to be precise. Much entails.
No.
Perhaps we can afford you a copy.
One.
Yes, 2021.
Yes, I can see it.
And it precisely spells out in general terms that the Commission of Inquiry should investigate and report. If you look at 2021A, it spells out the fact that commissions of inquiry must investigate. You look at 2021B, you see the fact that they should report.
Yeah.
Now, to marry that with legal notice number 15 of 2017, precisely in clause 2, I hope my memory doesn't fail me, but precisely in clause 2, the document you refer to as the terms of reference.
Yeah.
It would spell out that all, correct me if I'm wrong, it would spell out that all the assets that are the subject of the commission should be investigated and a report made to the president, right?
Yeah.
In this instance, because of the risk of loss or deterioration, the commission decided to dispose of assets and retain their value in another form. did it occur to the commission that that process needed to be documented and reported back per the mandate of the commission?
Did it appear to the commission or to me?
Well, it is inherent, whether through you or, but you were the head of the secretariat.
Yes.
So the question would stand the same.
Yes.
Because you are the master of record of the commission. So when I ask this question, was there any record of that fact?
Yeah, I mean, as you ask, it would appear to me that way, that everything should be investigated and documented. In fact, I remembered when the commission report was released, that's one of the first things, those were some of the first things I was looking for. The assets and how they were disposed, because I participated partly, so I would have been able to verify, if I see what I have participated in the report. And this was, I didn't see those things. I was a bit disappointed. I spent a couple of minutes or hours looking around everywhere in the report. I bought the document from the print. Because I was taking notes when there was a meeting called the report writing meeting. And basically what was being done at that meeting, which is the commissioners and the council and myself, I was taking the notes. It was to make an outline of what would be the contents of the report writing. So I'll take notes, exchange notes with the lawyers, and then, until eventually an outline was, I think I even have a copy of the initial outline that was drafted. It might have changed because these are things that you do. This was very early, in the first year. So I knew that they stayed maybe almost 1.5 years after that, after I left. So yes, I did took part in report outline meetings.
And the outline would contain this activity of tagging, valuation, and subsequent sale of the cattle, wouldn't it?
The initial outline, this was like we had a discussion and maybe we took some notes, so I exchanged this with one of the councils. It says Commission of Inquiry into Financial Dealings Report Outline. It's a long, it's 2 pages.
Yeah, that's fine.
3 pages.
Perhaps, but this was a proposal, just to be clear.
This was a proposal. This was not the final, because I wasn't there when the final. So this was just a proposal of the outline.
And of course, as secretary, it is within your realm that it's reasonable for you to propose the manner in which the report should look like, because you are the master of records, like I earlier put it.
No, it was the mandate, as far as I understood then, of the commissioners to decide, how they want their report to be presented.
That is very clear.
So my input was only to record what they say at a meeting.
However, practically, as an administrator, practically, it would be your role to put it to them that this is the manner in which I propose you adopt. And then they would adopt or deny, wouldn't it?
No, I think that role went to the council. The council proposed.
So it is the council that proposed reporting.
Yeah, because this document came from the council's office. So we had a discussion. We all took our notes. I take notes for the commissioners, but if I could remember, the responsibility of coming up with a draft outline was left to the council and her team. Almost everything that the commissioners decide on would come from the council, and then they will say yes or no.
So in these preliminary reporting meetings that you referred to, What were the discussions on?
The discussions were...
Perhaps if you can start by outlining who was in those teams.
Well, the three commissioners were there, the chairperson, Commissioner Sen, Commissioner George. I was present. The lead counsel is present. She usually comes with a member or two of her members of her team, two assistant counsels.
The assistant counsels from the commission?
Yes. She would normally come with Ananjai, which comes from the law firm, and then there is Olimatu Danso. Yeah, they are the regular assistants to her. So this was sent to me by Oli Danso. So what the discussion was about, a few things I could remember. One of the things was the commissioners were dividing among themselves and the council of who will probably write on which area. That was one of the things discussed. And maybe how to categorize the report according to institutional, how to group the different groups, grants, etc., as you could see here, you know, landed properties and so on. So basically, it went like that on government institutions. So they divided the areas up according to topics. And you know, obviously, this has to come from the councils because they had all the information.
Okay, and thank you.
Yeah.
You mentioned that after the tagging and valuation,
Yeah.
your role ceased with regards to livestock. And you also mentioned that there were seemingly no other livestock but cattle.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
Just a moment, let me gather my thoughts.
Okay.
You also mentioned that the office of the sheriff did not report back to you on sales.
No.
The manner of sales, whether it was done by auction or whether it was prearranged.
No.
But you did report on what you did.
Yes.
Did Gilmer have a valuation report submitted to the commission that is aside from AMK7?
I don't. Remember, and I don't remember them being very literate. Yeah, I didn't remember them seeing with pens and papers. I had all my stationery with me, so whatever process I witnessed, I have to make sure I document it. I mean, the chairperson always emphasized on that, and I made sure of that. But I don't remember seeing them taking records.
And they did not submit any records either?
I don't remember. I don't remember. It could be when I left or whatever, but you know, I don't remember.
Let's focus on the report that exists, your report.
Yeah.
When you say you made a report, are you speaking of AMK7 or is there something supplementary to AMK7?
No, this is what I sent with an email to explain, you know, that this is the report, and then obviously, you know, the summary of maybe what is in here.
All right, just for the record, I would like to move away from AMK7, but for the purposes of the record, just take us through AMK7 briefly. We picked on bits and bobs of it, but I would like you to take us through from the first page to the last page, not so tediously, just in summary.
Yes, it's titled as Commission of Inquiry Livestock Record Sheet. So I created this sheet, and there is a serial number. Then obviously, because it's tagging, we have tag number, the type of livestock, and then there is the gender of the cow, the sex, then the estimated weight, the price range, and the location of that particular cattle. So that's what we took. Most of it is canine until the gender is described as, the type of is described either as a cow, as a calf, or as a calf. If it's
as a bull.
Oh, yeah, I mean, if it's a cow or a calf, it has to be male or female. Yes. So we don't, yeah, that's it. Male means bull.
Okay. Your reporting was basically on two things, tagging and valuation.
Yes.
Did the commission through your office ever go back to the farm, the different ranges, to confirm if the cattle were still there and to take stock of what was there?
After this exercise?
After that exercise?
No. I mean, like I said, this exercise ended on the 29th of December. Then you have the 30th, 31st, the 2nd or so, it was transferred to the sheriff. So since it was transferred, we had nothing to do with it.
Honorable Chair, on the issue of livestock, I'll put a hold on it here. I think at this point, perhaps it's prudent for me to give the baton back to you. However, I would urge, Honorable Chair, that we keep our questions to the issue of the livestock and setting up of the commission and administration of the commission. Since the committee has resolved to appear tomorrow, we would be dealing with the issue of auctions done by the commission, and that is with specific reference to the tractors and other vehicles. If we could limit our questions not to touch on those until tomorrow, I'd appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Council. That is well noted. I think we'll confine ourselves within the subject that we discussed today. What is the sale of the cattle? And of course also the establishment of the commission itself, like we started. So, colleagues, questions? For clarification, Mr. Witness, of course.
Yes, thank you very much, Honorable Chair. And thank you, Witness, Mr. Puram. Mr. Puram, I just need a clarification on this AMK9J, which is Sasita Agriculture and Land Development. You see, it's John Dickery. You have John Deere, you have John Deere, you have John Deere, you have John Dickery. So I'm not sure whether these are all available, but they are different.
Which
Yes. No, it's just the
which
it's just the different
9 what?
as they started.
9
9J. Yes. Now, you see Sasita Agriculture and Land Development, John.
Sasita, oh, no, it's the same tractor brands is Magos, Ferguson, John Deere, and what's the other one, Mahindra. Those are the tractors we've come across.
That's what I thought, but when I saw John Deere and I saw Dickery and then I see them, I said, well, no.
It's
Okay, anyway.
the handwriting and the speed.
They are referring to the same brand.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Yes, also in your statement on page 2, you mentioned, where's the statement? Page 2, if you see the last paragraph, that is concerning the 500 tractors procured through $6 million loan. I'm just, yeah, we read that one.
Yes,
We sent it to me.
So tractors.
Okay, great. Yes. Yes. Yes, and in the statement also we mentioned that if the people responsible allowed room for negotiations before the auction.
Which page? Which page?
But I think that will also be, it's also on the tractors. Yeah. Yes. Yes. If I get you well, you are saying that it's like you are playing a role of some kind of cashier, that you will deposit funds to the account after doing the auction. Can you mention something like that?
For cattle, or are you talking about tractors, sir?
I don't know whether.
Because we didn't conduct any sales of cattle.
It must conduct any sales.
No.
But generally, your role, did you play any role where you actually handle cash and deposit?
When we did the tractor sales, I was the one in charge. It was my responsibility. So I discharge it, whatever it takes.
Okay. All right. Yes, in the case of the GELMA, the GLMA, did you come across information anywhere, whether it's correspondence or information or whatever, where it is mentioned that the order given by the High Court to the GELMA to take control of the movable assets, and the GELMA is saying they will not carry that order. Did you come across that information?
No, because that was outside the commission. That was the order before the commission was set up. So I wouldn't be in the picture of the negotiations that took place.
Okay. Yes. In the case of the sheriff, the court ordered the sheriff to tag or value the cattle. So, are you in any way aware as to whether the sheriff actually carried out that order?
I did not come across any information or did not witness any evidence that the sheriff had conducted tagging and valuation. And like I said, from the email communication between the AG, the lead counsel and myself, there was no assumption that the sheriff would do evaluation. I think that's the email that's being copied here. The assumption was that they would use the valuation that was done by the commission. So whether they do that or not, I'm not sure.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Koran, for coming, and thank you also very much for answering these questions that was posed by the council to assist us in our work. Just some little bit of clarification here, which you read this morning. That was your appointment letter by the President through the Attorney General's office, who actually handpicked you for various reasons. Now, on the letter is alluding to a TOR, which I suppose would explicitly explain your role as a secretary to the commission. Do you have a copy of the TOR?
I mean, they asked me, I said, I saw the letter just now that was sent to me. Yes, I remember receiving this letter, but my TOR, when we had meeting with the chairperson, the role of secretary is defined in the constitution.
Where exactly in the constitution?
In the act, there's an act somewhere. I don't know whether I have it with me here.
Are you referring to the Commission of Inquiry Act 1903 or?
Yes, the original act. That's what I had with me at the beginning. Let me see.
Would you like a copy?
I'll bring the brown envelope. Okay, hold on. Yeah, I thought that yesterday you had discussion about the act. The role of the secretary is very straightforward. Keep information, share information, keep records.
Yes, but did you receive a TOR in particular? Because the act is general. The act is not meant for a particular person or a particular commission.
Yes, I remember seeing a TOR that is very similar to what what was in the act.
Yes, here I have the act. I'm not sure if you have a copy of it. Maybe you can help us to point us.
We're providing a copy.
Okay.
Shortly.
Surely, yeah.
But you can make reference to section 6.
Yeah, exactly. So if you look at section 6 of the act, it reads, a commissioner appointed, power to appoint secretary and his or her duties. The president may appoint a secretary to attend the sittings of the commission, to record their proceedings, to keep their papers, to summon witnesses and minute their testimony, and generally to perform such duties connected with the inquiry as the commissioner shall prescribe.
Exactly.
Exactly, yeah.
I remember that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, did the commissioners prescribe anything about your duties as a secretary to the commission?
Yes, eventually, over the course of the work, yesterday I had the chairman, saying that the order of the commission is a high court order, and he distinguished between an order and what was the other thing yesterday? The order, he said, is
about interim order?
Yeah, interim order or whatever order it is. Yeah. When a commission issues an order, it's a court order. So he explained that yesterday. So when the act says whatever the commissioners give me to do, I believe that it is referring to such things as when the commission issues an order and asks me to act on the order, that's a court order, because there was so much political debate. How can Mr. Kurang go and sell a cow or a vehicle? Because people don't understood what the chairperson said yesterday. When a court orders you, I either resign, I leave the commission, or I execute the order.
Yeah, but this order that they're referring to as the commission may issue out is to issue out to somebody else to perform a particular duty or to provide certain things to the commission, not you being a staff of the commission.
No, the commission can order anybody, and the commission have ordered me to conduct a cattle tagging and valuation. That's an order.
Okay, we are not talking about that order. What I'm trying to get at is, when you are appointed as a secretary to the commission,
yes,
I would like to know exactly what your terms of references were as indicated in your letter that you've confirmed that you received the appointment letter. And on the appointment letter, if I can read, the last, I think the council referred to earlier, kindly familiarize yourself with the Commission's terms of reference and your attached TOR, indicating that there was attached TOR to your letter. That is the TOR I'm referring to. Do you have that?
Yes, I'm saying that I don't have the TOR with me, but what I remember reading in the TOR was exactly in line with, is an expounding of what is written here as my responsibilities.
So you are confirming that you did receive a TOR. You are confirming.
Yeah, I can remember that there was a TOR.
Yeah, okay.
I remember that.
Okay, that's fine. We'll find out from the ministry about that particular one.
Yeah.
Now, the other area I just wanted to get clarification on was you leave the issue of the tractors. It was about the issue of the Farato farms that you mentioned briefly. That when you went there, some of the animals were already gone. Is that correct? And you only found very few.
No, that's not Farato.
Banjulunding.
Banjulunding, yes, had fewer animals, yes, we said. And the time we arrived there, because, you know, cows, you have to release them for grazing.
Yes, exactly.
So, so they had to be released.
Yes, so you only took note of those ones that were there.
Yeah, we had few there. We took note, but so, you know, because they were already released, we didn't. I don't remember recording anything. We said we will come back before the sales.
So so but did you subsequently go back to do that?
No, because that was the day I was asked to step down.
All right.
So, Mr. Kuran, we'll probably not need to use specifically English because we are also recording what has been said here.
Yes.
You know, if you use the local language, it will be difficult for us to get that done, no? So please.
Okay. Yes, I did say Bafanaje, because cows, you don't keep them the whole day tying down. Unless you have ready food, as the sun goes up, you must release the cows, and then they will come down at sundown. Yes.
Yes, the last question I have is in relation to the issue of the budget, which I think the council was asking about. If you remember, you started at least around after the first half of the year, to be precise, around July 12th, when already half of the year is actually gone.
Sure.
And have you ever submitted any kind of budget to the ministry? Because knowing that this is a short-term assignment of the commission, so have you prepared anything in collaboration with the commission in terms of your needs to the Minister of Justice?
Yes, I did say here that myself and Commissioner Abiose George, who is also an accountant, did brainstorm and prepare some kind of a budget, right, in line with the assumptions that were spelled out in our first meeting. Because that's budgeting. You look at the requirements, human resource, materials that you need, then you translate them into numbers. We did that, and I remember we shared it with the AG, but like I said, along the way, we were made to understand that we have nothing to do with budgets. We just need to request what we want.
Okay. All right, thank you. So I'll just leave the rest until tomorrow.
I will start.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kwa. My first question goes to the issue of your employment. You made mention that when you were called, you had a meeting with the AG. I know based on your qualification, nobody doubt your qualification. But I will have one question that I need to ask on that point. On what they required for that position. One was not once time work with Jammeh. Was that an only requirement for you, or was it across the board?
Well, frankly, I was only aware of my own discussion. I wasn't aware of that of anybody else.
Okay, that's fine. Mr. Kuran, coming back to the issue of the administration, you were answerable to the commissioner.
Yes.
And that was the lead counsel, the chairman of the commission. What was your relationship with the lead counsel?
Relationship in terms of what?
In terms of work. Were you answerable to her also? Were you taking orders from her?
No, I was not taking orders from the lead counsel, and I know that's not part of my job description. I was only taking orders from the commissioners. I worked with the lead counsel, what she needs and what I need from her, but I was not meant to be taking instructions from the lead counsel.
But when you were giving your response to the council, you made mention that there were tendency to that there are information that only meant for her and only her.
That was the beginning. Before we even started sitting down, and she was trying to put me through on how to handle information that comes to the secretariat and how to distribute it and who to give it to. Yes, at the beginning, the briefing before we start.
And why are you doing that?
Yes, basically, like I said, when information comes to me, based on the understanding I have with the lead counsel and the commissioners, I distribute it according to who should get it.
Mr. Kuram, also coming back to the issue of the mandate, you had 2 staffs you took as on the intern. Do you have the mandate by then, and then who was paying those staffs?
I mean, when as interns, I was responsible for making so, because you have, when you are a secretary, you have a lot of small things that you can't do for yourself all the time. Carry this paper for me to lead counsel, come back, photocopy this for me. Yes, there are staff, but at that moment, you need that.
Who was paying them?
Well, they were supported by me until up to about 6 months, and then along the way, the commissioners felt that these people were very committed and very disciplined, and they were doing a good job. And I think they started giving them some transport allowance to take.
They were giving them transport allowance?
Yeah.
And Mr. Kula,
yes.
Coming to the cattle, as you mentioned that you were only responsible for tracking and the valuation.
Yes.
And then based on your expertise, as you have already mentioned, will you ever know that those cattle were undervalued?
I mean, like I said, valuation is a subjective matter, 1. And 2, a valuation is just a valuation. Now, when it is valued already, right, he explained to me, they are valued based on a meat basis, meat value basis. Whether it is undervalued or overvalued, it's only the market that can tell you that. Because the true value of a property is the market value. So if you go to the market, like I said, and in economics we say a free market, and it has conditions for a free market, there must be free flow of information. So if you open the market and you have free flow of information, where the whole country is aware, and then the system is transparent, the market value that you will get will be above the value that has been recorded by a huge margin, if it is transparent.
Yeah, but
so I don't know what specifically you want.
Yeah, no, Mr. Kulam,
Yeah.
I know here you're doing tagging and valuation.
Yes.
There was no free or open market per se. There was no open market. They said meat value, as you said. And then based on your expertise, because here you're talking about to value something,
Yeah.
mean you know what's on the ground, isn't it? It's like you want to value this mic to somebody to offer or buy it for you. You must actually know the background of the mic and then the real cost of the mic before giving a price.
Yes.
So my concern here is we have seen animals being valued at $1,400, at $2,060 on cattle. And then look at the weight that they have given. Were you weighing those animals? Were they weighed before you give a price?
I think I already answered that here when I said there was no scale to weigh.
Thank you.
I said the weighing was based on value judgment and the experience of the valuer, and they would use a calculator to convert the weights into money.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kurang. And I'm still coming to the same point again.
Okay.
With your expertise, you have been valuing and you have been doing this kind of work before based on your qualification. And then, yes.
Which kind of work?
I mean, it's about valuing. You said that you gave us example scenarios.
Of business valuation.
Yes, I'm coming. That's business.
Yes.
Because selling also is part of business.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
It's not business.
It is.
Exactly.
Yes.
Because when I know a newly born calf,
Yeah.
at least a calf of only 1 month is to be more than 7 kilos. Well, I'm saying 7 kilos of a calf, and then by then, what is the meat price by then? Right? Are you aware of the meat price by then? The kilo of meat by then?
No, but do you want to say that a 1 week cow is meat?
No, but you say that it was meat value?
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
But I explained here, when you have a baby cow, I mean, do you eat baby cows, sir?
No, what I'm saying, I'm not about eating now. You're not eating now.
Yeah, but
You are valuing based on what?
yeah, the meat. So now look at the baby.
No, I'm coming.
Okay.
You are valuing based on what? Whether you are eating the meat, but you are valuing based on the meat.
Yes.
So let's talk about issue of eating. This is let's say I'm going to your So you are not about the issue of eating now.
Yes.
It's about the meat that you are valuing.
Yes.
It was eating or not, it was meat.
Yes.
So this is what I'm asking. Whether by then you knew the price of meat by then.
Oh, I mean, if you take the figure that is there, for example, if you take a calculator and it says you're referring to 8, then you divide
You have
1440 divided by 8 kilograms. How much you get? 1440 divided by 8 kilograms.
Yeah, that's here.
180.
Yeah, that's here.
Yeah, I mean, that was 2017, 180.
That was
Say again.
that was the kilo by then.
Okay.
That was the selling price by then.
Okay.
That was the selling price.
Maybe the wholesale price. Maybe there is a wholesale meat price and a retail meat price.
So, Mr. Kurang, I know we'll dig into this tomorrow when you come.
Sure.
But I mean, to be honest with you,
Yeah.
you are a guy now per se.
Yeah.
And then I believe that you guy now knows the value of what they were selling.
No, I mean it is not the Gainago that's valuing here. The valuation is the value.
I'm coming there. I'm coming to him to those point.
Okay.
Because for example today with your expertise, I'm still getting your expertise. The guy who was valuing,
Yeah.
we're able to question his qualification, or we're able to ask him whether he has ever valued something of this nature.
You see, it's a government department that was valuing, not an individual. So, I mean, this is the commission asked the livestock to bring their experts. What they brought, I was a secretary. I mean, this is a government department. It's not an individual. The answer is no. I did not do any exercise as to their qualification.
Well, the last one, in the intervention with the council, there was a point in time when the AG gave you a request or a comment to say he told you that there are frozen assets or frozen lands of assets per se that we are to be defrozen again. What was the reason?
Which comment are you referring to specifically?
On the frozen assets. To unfrozen.
When?
When he was questioned, when he questioned you. Yes. No, when he questioned you, give you a response.
Can you elaborate? Because I don't get the question.
Give you a response.
Oh, I think that was a question in reference to the council when he asked
the
chairperson, I think yesterday.
No,
three. Yeah, it was a question that was being referenced to.
Frozen, what I heard was that it was a 3 months frozen order, isn't it?
The question is,
Yes.
with regards to the injunction,
Yes.
the frozen assets within the TDA areas. That was the.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because he asked me what the interaction and the oversight issue. That's when I mentioned that the interaction, the form of interaction that takes place between the AG and the Commission. And I did say that it was not a foresight interaction, but more or less, what was the alternative word, sir, Counsel?
I believe it was partnership. Well, not partnership actually.
There was a word
facilitation.
Facilitation and, how do I call representation. So I gave that example of contacts because I had the chairperson tell you yesterday there was no, control. Once a commission, goes, it's like a train. A train, it has no stop. Until it reaches the last stop.
Okay, the last one is about it's still the same AG, Mr. Kurang.
Yes.
There was a time he told you that it was a request or a comment that the government wanted something. That you must do what the government needs. What were those needs?
Oh, what are you referring to? The statement, my statement?
No, only in your response with the council. We are listening and then trying to jot things down for you, or for ourselves to ask you questions.
No, I said, yeah.
The AG told you that government wanted something.
Yeah.
In a request form.
Yes.
My question was,
Yeah.
can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, I was giving example of formal interaction between the AG and the Commission. So I witnessed the AG came and did a presentation, and there were some plots of land around the TDA, and the government, he said, because with the presentation, I think I have the minutes somewhere, where he said that the government is interested because there are investors that are interested in those properties, and since the Commission is investigating them, they need relief or some kind of unrestrict or unfreeze, whatever you call it, so that if it is done by the Commission, the government could deal with those properties or plots of land as has been proposed. Did you understand me, Honorable?
No, it's okay as far as it's about lands. Maybe when we reach to that point.
Yeah, when we reach to land, we can. There is a lot more there.
Thank you, Chair. Let me hand over the mic to you.
Yes, you can go ahead. Let her come to you. Yeah.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you very much, Mr. Kurang.
Yes.
For having me. To start with, I want us to look at the administration of the former Jammeh Commission, more especially around your appointment. If I may ask, were you aware of any adverts as per the seat of the Secretary General of the former Jammeh Commission? No. As far as I know, it was not advertised. I've never seen any advertisement of Secretary to any commission. As per the legal provisions, more especially with the Public Service Act, what can you tell this committee in a situation where someone is appointed without advertising that particular position? What I can tell the committee is, from the Al-Ghali Commission to Jammeh Commission to the Land Commission, TRC, I haven't seen an advert for Secretary to the Commission. That's one. And two, my understanding is that I was not being recruited as a public servant as such. I was maybe doing something related to public service, obviously, but I was being recruited based on my expertise on a special need, because as I said, somebody who has been here and understands it, the Jammeh investigation, you need to have a perception as an accountant or as a financial guy. I am going into this investigation. What exactly am I looking for? I think even before you start the investigation, it helps if you have lived in the country and you have been watching, right, and you have not been part of it, and you are now asked to investigate. So, yeah, that's what I have to say. I'm not sure if I have satisfied your answer.
No, well, that can be decided by the committee.
I was a contractor to the government.
Yeah, but, it's more or less like a public institution, considering the fact that your source of funding is coming from the government and through the Ministry of Justice. I want to believe that it will really require to have that lens of, equality in terms of leveraging every other Gambian to have the opportunity to apply for the job, because my belief is we might have other accountants with a similar qualification like yours who might be also interested to apply for the position.
Well, nobody advertised for ministerial posts, and there are many other positions in government nobody advertises for, including Secretary General, whatever. So I would not, my position was equally as important as some of those positions. So if I'm included, well, it's not my responsibility, and I felt that, I was haunted. God made it possible that I was there, and that's one of the reasons why we're here today.
Yeah, Honorable, you're very right. I just wanted to interject here just to do some clarification with regards to the subject. I'm not too sure, because the issue of establishing a commission is the prerogative of the president.
Yes.
It's an executive order. I mean, that is why you can see even the chairperson and members of the commission are being selected, without being advertised, just as the secretary as well. Just for understanding, I take note of your question, and it's important that you ask so that people can also relate and understand exactly.
Yes, it's a very relevant question, because it's been in the air. How did Alaji get appointed? And you just gave me an act which says the president may appoint. So may or may not. I mean, it's a lot of people ask, and I am glad that you asked it to be. The matter is still up for discussion.
And it's not even about Alaji.
No, I don't think it's personal.
Exactly.
Sure.
It's just to make clarity around every other issue.
Sure.
That is before us.
Sure.
With regards to the livestock, if my mind can serve me well, the lead counsel asking if you know or if you visited any other site or range where the ex-president's livestock could be found, you said no. If I may ask, do you know about the ships that were at State House?
State House Banjul? No, nobody ever told me about ship at State House Banjul. I was never aware of it.
Okay. Were you also aware about an application before Justice Buba Jao in 2017 January? Livestock.
2018 or 2017, because what the lead counsel gave me
18 about, you even spoke about it earlier.
Yeah, I spoke about it because I said that on the last day of the tagging, when the lead counsel told me that the sales will not go through and they have to go back to court, and then after that was 29, 30th, 31st New Year's, the first day after the New Year's, the correspondent, I said, was just flying around me, but legally I was lost what was happening. But I knew that I just had to freeze whatever I was doing until I saw that Kim Ben Ta came up with the High Court order. That was what I knew, and I was told to inform the chairperson because it was an email and he's not to.
Now, just to establish this, because there's something I want to establish.
Okay.
Apart from being aware of that application, were you privileged to have to lay hands on the application, to go through it kind of?
The application, in the emails, the application that was made was shared, so I saw it. Yeah, it was a legal document. For me, at that moment, it didn't mean anything. I just realized that there's a clause that the commission says, in the commission order, that says the High Court can be referred to. And I know they are doing a process, the AG and the lead counsel, taking it to the High Court. What was argued in the High Court, I don't know. And I was even lost how, on what basis? Yeah.
Can I come, please?
Yeah.
In that application, have you come across of an inventory with the list of the livestock, more especially small ruminants, sheep, goats, etc.?
There was this report from the Registrar General that was in fact the basis of all this thing, the process. I think you have seen that report. And in this report, I think it was, there's a report here. This report was 17th of October, 17th of October 2017. It was done by the Registrar General, and it listed so many things from different places in Kanilai and so on, including some items, household items, etc. So, yeah, I've seen this report. I mean, like you can see here, it even mentioned the livestock, cattle, 634 horses, 8 horses, zebras, 9 zebras. I never saw a zebra when I went to Kanilai. Horses, did I see horses? I saw 1 or 2 sick horses. No, I said 1 sick camel. Yes. But I didn't even see a camel here. Rams, 37, I never saw a ram. Hyenas, 7 hyenas. Yeah, I saw some hyenas. I forgot about the count. Zebra, 9 zebra. I never seen a zebra. I never even seen a zebra. And
so, Mr. Quran.
Yes.
After reading part of that list to the committee, which you just did,
yes,
I just want you to confirm to this committee, is it true that the ex-president has rams or small ruminants that he left behind and that were sold by the commission?
Small ruminants sold by the commission? I mean, I am not aware of any animal, live or dead, sold by the commission.
On that inventory you have rams that you can confirm, that you just read from the application.
The inventory from the AG chambers, the Attorney General.
Yes.
Yes, I can see that there is an inventory that mentioned.
Can you give us a list of what is mentioned on that?
On this inventory, it says cattle in Kanilai 634. Horses, 8 horses. Whether there is another part of this, it started somewhere because there is a whole lot of other things before this. But these are lives of 8 horses, 9 zebras, 7 hyenas, and 37 rams. Yes, I am watching, I have seen this report.
And you confirm that this list was given by the Ministry of Justice as per what you have before you.
Yes, this list came from the Attorney General Chambers, Ministry of Justice at Marina, and it was signed by Aliu Jallo, the Acting Registrar General.
Thank you. I think from that list, we can take it to say there were rams that the former president left behind. Let's progress. Don't worry about that now.
Okay.
Mr. Kuran, I think I would need more of a clarity around my next question, which is for taking reference from the evidence that were given by the former chairperson, and also I would say from you, was the commission were not appointing staff.
The commission, yes, I had that yesterday, yeah, I agree.
So you were not appointing?
No.
Okay. What do you make up with regards to the appointment of Mr. Karang Abdullah by the commission?
That was not a staff appointment, as far as I know. He was the auctioneer. He was contracted for a particular mission, which is to help the commission conduct an auction, and was contracted only for that activity. I don't call that appointment of staff, but the commission contracted somebody to oversee.
Mr. Kuran, I think sometimes the nomenclature we use, we tend to confuse each other.
No, we have.
However, no, let me just one. However,
Yeah.
in your own case,
Yeah.
when I said appointment, you shifted to say you were contracted.
Okay.
Am I wrong or right?
By the president.
By the president.
Yes.
However, in Mr. Abdullah's situation,
Yes.
he also seems to be contracted.
Yes. Yes.
So, is it correct to say, together, the members at the former Jana Commission were all contracted?
Yeah, I mean, that is fine, but I'm just trying to help you to make a distinction between somebody contracted by a state, which, according to the Constitution, giving powers according to the Constitution, and those powers includes to discharge your activities for a particular function, and knowing that it is not reasonably possible for you to discharge those activities unless you get help from an outsider, which in this case, for example, in conducting an auction or hiring a gele to maybe do something, doesn't mean that the gele driver is working for you, but he is contracted to help you accomplish the mission according to the Constitution.
Yeah, but still the president is working for you between that time frame. However, just to conclude, because what I am trying to draw at is, is to say that the commission were given the powers to appoint opposed to what the chairperson said, to say the former commission were not able to make any appointments. Be it a day work, 2 work, 3 months work. What I am seeing on black and white is the commission has been given powers to appoint, and they have appointed, like the case of Mr. Abdullah.
I think it's different, because when a member of parliament is asked to appoint an assistant as a secretary, that's different from when he goes to Banjul market and then hires a taxi driver and agrees with him with a fee. One is an appointment, and for me the other is just, a contract in the course of incidental to the discharge of your activity.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Kuran. Okay, how much is it?
Thank you very much.
Sorry, Honorable Chair, if I may just, pardon me for interjecting, I just want to confirm between Honorable Jammeh'S exchange with the witness, what document Mr. Kurang was making reference to?
The order that was given by the commission for the sale of the cattle was supported by a report from the Registrar General, who was legally the custodian of the assets.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Mr. Kurang, yes. The valuation of the cattle were based on estimation instead of actuality.
Yes.
In your opinion, would you have done that differently? If yes, how?
Would I have done the valuation differently? I think because for every process, the objective is the end results. So evaluation is not for the sake of evaluation. It is a step you take before a sale, so that to guide you when you are making a sale. The valuer is probably providing a reserve price. However, I was made to understand that the end results is about what value can you get from that asset. So the fact that you have a valuation does not, in my opinion, necessarily mean that you will not get maximum value from that asset if you conduct a transparent sales. I mean, I don't know what you understand what I mean. So the valuation is one thing, but it doesn't deny you the benefit of getting maximum value from the asset if you sell it transparently and fairly.
Perhaps my question is not well understood.
Okay.
The foundational question is,
Yeah.
the valuation was based on estimation instead of actuality.
Okay.
Can I ask, in your opinion, if you were to do it, would you have done it differently? If yes, how?
There are two things there. Because the first thing is he estimates the meat value, which even if you bring a weighing for a cow, you will still not be able to tell how much meat is there. Okay, you can tell the weight of the cow, but that's one thing. Now, I know that the best situation you would, the ideal situation is to put the cow on a scale and weigh it. The practicality of that is what I'm trying to think, Honorable. That's one. And the other thing is he estimates the meat value. Of course, the assumption he makes, the market value versus the meat value, I couldn't challenge him on that because there is also a tradition in the government. I mean, I believe maybe that was not the first time. These are people working for government, and maybe they use a certain method, which is meat value, because not every government auction is successful. There are some government auctions where you go and nobody is interested in the asset. It just happened that everybody wants to buy Jammeh'S assets, so this was different. So it has a good market value, and all of them had could have good market value.
Thank you. The next question is, you mentioned in your statement at the second paragraph, page 2 of your statement, that the commission was given an initial list of assets attributed to the former president.
Yeah.
Can you provide that list to the committee?
That list is inside the document they gave us. Yeah, the legal notice on the last page, on the last few pages, where they listed lands owned by Yahya Jammeh. They are listed there behind. But I think it has been mentioned both in the commission's final report and also during proceedings that this list is not exclusive. I mean, it's not the complete list. Well, Thank you. The next question is, can you inform this committee how many golden pistols have you discovered? Because in your statement, you have itemized some items, plural pistol, but it was not itemized. It was not quantified.
May I interject you?
Yes, you can.
Good. I would have loved us to hold on to that, because I think that is a whole thing coming. We will have Quran back on that. We just wanted to confine ourselves between the sales of cattle and all that, and then later we will have that. That is a very good point, but it will come later. But it has a connection somewhere. Otherwise, it will be preempted.
The handing over, because I was going to read from the handing over notes, but it's okay. The MP is interested in the golden gun.
Last question. If the chair wishes, we could also overrule.
Okay.
And the question is, you alluded that assets valuation on page 8. You said such valuation are usually through the initiative of the lead counsel and the authority of the commission. Who are those authority of the commission?
Which page, sir?
This should be on page 8 of your statement.
Is it here?
AMK1.
Okay, okay. Page 8. Which paragraph, sir?
Well, unless I go back, but it's, let me see. I didn't make any reference to the paragraph, but I know it's page 8. Page? Second paragraph. Okay, second paragraph.
What I do know and witness is that the commissioners and lead counsel are fully informed about valuations of assets under investigations. Such valuations are usually through the initiative of the lead counsel and authority of commissioners.
Yes.
In fact, most orders and decisions of commissioners regarding the assets is generally subsequent to the advice of the lead counsel. Yeah, what I was explaining is that, like when the counsel asks me, how do the orders come about? So I said there is usually an application from the lawyers and the lead counsel. So the same thing with the issues of valuations and so on. The proposal can come from lead counsel, but the commission is always the authority. I mean, they have to agree or disagree. Yeah.
Very much.
Thank you.
No more questions.
Thank you.
Well, I'll still have some clarification for my left.
Okay.
Just short one.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Kuran. Mr. Kuran, when it comes to procurement, in most cases, what we are looking for is value for money.
Yes.
And in this case of valuating the cattle or sale of cattle using meat as meat value, would you say there is value for money for the state in this case?
Yeah, because like I said, I wouldn't have said this if I didn't experience the process from end to end. In the case of tractors, for example, a certain percentage of tractors, I wouldn't say that. But like you said, value for money, you can make an assumption of if this valuation is the actual sales price. But the valuation is not the actual sales price. The valuation is usually the valuer's, from what I understand, the valuer's statement of what is the minimum price you can derive from an asset. Yes, clearly. All the valuation I've come across is the valuation of the minimum amount. In fact, we call them reserve price sometimes. So minimum amount therefore means if you are delegated to sell, the state is expecting you, or the commission is expecting you to bring that amount of the minimum. So now value for money now can only be created based on the process you put in place to execute that sales. That's why I keep saying the transparency of the due and the due process will determine the value for money. The better the due process and more transparent, the higher the value of money. The less due process you have and the less transparent you have, the lower will be the value for money. I'm not sure if I answered. Satisfactory. Okay.
Yes, just a small clarification here. On the AMK 11, which is a series of emails that you were corresponding, I think you gave it to us today.
Did I have a
emails? Yeah. What I realized is there were emails sent to you from the lead counsel.
Thank you.
But then what I realized also is you printed what was sent, but your response was not indicated. I'm not too sure if that is just a, but the committee will be interested to see your response to those emails.
Yes. These emails, as you can see, like I said, when this process started, I was a very dormant observer because these are legal processes that were being explained here. So I would say I was just being copied and observing because, as you can see,
no, you check the first email.
The first email says,
this to you.
Dear Mr. Quran,
Yes.
After further review of the High Court order regarding the cattle, it will be necessary to obtain a leave of the court to proceed with the sale. Since the cattle were actually seized by the court, this is to put you on notice that I will be discussing the matter with the AG and expect to contact you again as soon as I am able to talk to him.
Yes.
And it was signed Ami Bensouda.
So there was no response.
This was on the no,
29th.
she had already told me this on the phone, right? And then she put it in writing.
Now, if you go to the second page,
I couldn't say much. She had already decided what to do. And what could I say?
I mean, to acknowledge receipt of the email and also to ask questions if you don't understand.
No,
but if you go further on the second email,
Yeah.
it's telling you further. That is after almost 3 hours.
Yes,
Like
after the same, is it the same day on the 29th of December?
Yes.
Yeah, on the same day,
Exactly.
she came back and said, further to the email below, I have discussed with the AG. Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
she's,
He's asking the question, could you therefore postpone the sale until further notice?
yes, so we both think
Yes.
it is necessary that a court order be obtained before the sale. This is consistent with the commission order. Yeah. Could you therefore postpone the sale until further notice? I do not envisage that it will take more than a couple of days to obtain the relevant expat order. A radio announcement may best be under these circumstances. Could you also inform the chairman?
Yes.
Okay, her emails were just coming and coming.
Yes. And in fact, on this particular one, there are 3 requests he made.
Yes.
But what were your responses? Did you respond to the email?
What were she want to make sure, first of all, the first request, could you postpone the sale?
Yes.
The sale took place, so it was,
No. Could you suspend the sale?
you see,
And the second one was suggesting that you make a radio announcement to postpone.
she was sending these emails. For me, I was even thinking about what's happening, because is this even proper? I am supposed to take instructions from the chairperson.
So are you saying that you never responded to these emails? Is that what you're saying?
It's the same day.
Yeah, on the same day, but almost 3 hours apart.
Yeah, maybe how do I call it? Okay, that. Yeah, I think for me the lead counsel was going on her own thing. I mean, of course, in the name of the commission, and I didn't know what to say.
Okay, so,
I
so
didn't
the
know.
only thing I want to...
I didn't know what to respond. I just, you know, I we froze everything.
No, I understand. The only thing I want to confirm that you did not respond to these emails. That's
I
all.
mean, I don't see any. I just printed this, and it was on the same day. It was Friday, on the 20. That was on the 29th. I was probably even in the bush.
Okay.
You know, when these things were going on, I was somewhere in Kanilai or in Farato. I don't have access to an email at that time, and they were just coming.
Okay, that's fine. So maybe I will, through the chair, I'll ask for you to check back your emails, but to see if you responded to them. We'll be very interested to know exactly what your responses were on these emails.
There were, day before this email, there were some other emails between me.
Yeah, I understand. No, I'm specifically interested in this correspondence that you gave us this morning.
Yeah.
I would like to know what your responses were. So maybe you can check back, maybe by the time you come back here, you can give us if you have responded to those emails. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr.
Like I said, I mean, I didn't see. I don't remember any correspondence.
Maybe you can check, if you go back, check in your email, if you have responded to any of the emails that were sent to you. If you can have them back again, it's fine. Okay?
No, this is
all what you have.
This, with regard to this particular trail, this is what I have.
Okay.
And I think, as I said, at this point in time, maybe I was in the field. So if I am in the field, you know, I only saw these emails later, but what she told me on the phone is what I remember, and what I responded to on the phone.
That's fine.
Then while I'm in the field, she was just sending these emails. I cannot respond to emails when I was not on my seat.
That's fine. That's okay. Now, I just wanted to ask, from, you know, the submission of AMK 11, the exclusion of the chairperson in the communication of the commission, why was he left out in the whole, you know, process? Was it deliberate, or was it a decision by him, the chairperson?
11? Did you say 11?
AMK 11?
Which one is
That's the
AMK?
emails. That's the emails.
Or the emails?
Yeah. Was it deliberate for the chairperson to be excluded from the communication, or was it a decision taken by him himself?
At this moment, these emails, you realize, you notice that it's the end of the year. Yeah, I'm coming there.
Okay.
It's the end of the year. You understand? And the commission are not sitting, and maybe they are not in office, because 29 is one day before the New Year's. What I think was proper was the lead counsel to communicate to me what she discussed with the chairperson rather than what she discussed with the AG. And there was no discussion, so in answer to your question, was the chairperson involved? At the end of the email, when these emails were sent, like I said, I was maybe in the field or whatever, and then at the end of the somewhere, it was mentioned that I should inform the chairperson, but the other two commissioners were in copy, and they were not in the field. So I assume they would have seen it.
And that brings the question to say, now you ask the secretary of the commission, just like Honorable Mbo asked, whether you have responded to any of the email. Now, the lead counsel was sending email, excluding the chairperson, and asking you to inform the chairperson. Probably it would have been better for you to respond to the email to say the chairperson should be included in the email list so that he can be informed.
I was in the field, and what I just told you is the chairperson signed an order. The chairperson signed an order. I was in the field. The chairperson signed an order. He is a lawyer. The lead counsel is taking action on that order. They have a working relationship. I would assume that the lead counsel should have communicated directly with the chairperson. There is nothing wrong with
it. You have no understanding whether that was deliberate, or is a decision of the chairperson to be excluded from the email list?
No, the chairperson is an old-time guy, so they don't use emails. So the reason of him not being in the email is not because he don't want to communicate, but because he doesn't use it. He doesn't use a computer.
That's fine. That's what I wanted to understand.
Yes.
I mean, if you have responded.
So when you have message, I will have to print it.
I understand.
And then when I print it,
that's fine.
I take the print to him. So on a days like this, I would have printed it if I was in the office and take it to his house. But this was a weekend, and then I was in the field.
Perfect.
Yes.
That's okay. Now, regarding the sales of the cattle to the valuation process, and let me say the tagging, valuation, and then subsequently pricing the cattle when they value them. You've said they were valuing them on mid value, right? So wouldn't it have been better if those cattle, because I have seen even I just wanted to take a reference on the tractors where you listed the specifications of the tractors. The cattle also are different species, not so? Am I right?
Yes, I said it.
Wouldn't it have been better for the evaluators, the evaluating team to also specify the cattle in the way they are, so that, you know, based on species? For example, when people are buying, they know what is, like you said, the Dama cattle and the other species. Would that not have been the best option to also generate more money from the sales of the cattle than valuing them on mid-value? I don't know. What do you think?
You are asking for additional information, isn't it, on this?
Now this is the thing. The value is based on mid-value. They could have excluded mid-value and used the specification for the species of the cattle.
Exclude mid-value and replace it with what?
I'm asking the species of the cattle.
No, but the species cannot replace the mid-value. The species is not a value, it's just a description.
No, you know, the cow, like I asked you, I said you have different types of cattle. And you confirmed, you said yes.
Yes.
You said it here, the Ndama cattle, and the other types of cattle, no so?
Yes.
Now, if you're selling a cattle, Ndama cattle,
Yeah.
and the hump one, probably the prices are different. That's what I'm asking.
Sure.
So maybe when they value the cattle, they could have used the species than mid-value. That's what I'm saying. Don't you think if they've used the species, would have been better than the mid-value?
I'm worried about when you said instead. I think it would have been, what would have been appropriate would be in addition to. Yes. So in addition to the mid-value,
No, and I want to exclude the mid-value. Is it a must that the mid-value should be there? Is it a must?
so you are saying, Mr. Chairman, if I get you, are you saying that, for example, if you look at it, number one, if they say tag number 1768, type of livestock cow, sex is female, estimated weight is 40 kilogram, meat value 7,200. Are you saying instead of 7,200, they should say Brazilian?
The type of cattle. The type of cattle, you said bull. Now, you could have another, you know,
Type of cattle, cow.
is
Yes.
a cow.
Yes.
You could have another column
Yes.
to say the species of that cow. The cow is her.
Okay, yeah.
Anything is cow.
In addition,
Species, yeah.
in addition, yeah, but they did not give us that, so I am not sure.
Maybe if you use the species, yes, you could have generated more money in the sales than the mid-value. Or no, the mid-value will have generated more money than when we use the species. Probably, I just wanted to confirm from you.
No, I think to conclude that by including whether it is Dama or a Brazilian breed, whether that will get you more mid value is to discount the most important thing that you need to get the best value out of an asset like a cow, which is the best method to get the best value of any asset is to put in place a process, a due process, a procedure that is transparent with all the qualities of free market, free information, perfect info, not perfect, but good information, transparent process, right? That way you can get the value on any asset, best value, no matter what description you use. That's my opinion.
Let me just observe it quickly before we move on to, because I think we'll be discussing more about these issues. But essentially what the chair is trying to allude to is very simple. The value or the price of a Ndama cattle is not the same with the value of a Gabo. Even though they're the same weight, they're not the same. Or the Gobra. Just like you have a four-wheel drive, for example. If you have a Benz four-wheel drive, or you have a four-wheel drive or a Hyundai or a Toyota, they are not the same price. So that's exactly what we're trying to allude to. So it's not really about the weight itself, but there could be additional information. Because when you go to the Lumos right now to buy a cow, they don't look at the weight. First they look at is what kind of animal is this? For example, sheep. Is this a ladum? What kind of sheep is it? So this is exactly what we're trying to say. Maybe an additional specification, like what he's saying, could have been very more helpful than the weight, because this is only talking about meat. But you understand where you're also coming from, because of you've been guided by, you know, other people.
No, I agree that I was the one who mentioned that the type of species of the cattle are not mentioned, and they could have been mentioned. But what you know, that would have been just on paper. Actually, when you go to sell this, the buyer must see, the seller must see, the auctioneer must ring a bell, and people must bid for that cow. So when they bid for that cow, at that moment, if the transparent, you will get the best value.
Thank you, Mr. Kuran. We don't, okay. Is there anything? Oh, okay. All right. Yes, Mr. Kwan, I think we appreciate the responses that you have been giving, and we do not doubt the process that you have taken. For now, we don't doubt the information that you're giving us, and we don't doubt the process that you have taken in the auction. What we are trying to say is, during the valuation process, some of the things that we, as members of the committee, think could have been also, you know, valuable to the process. That is what we are trying to put forward. And of course, ask for clarification, and if there is any need, also to give you information, if those information were going to be, you know, necessary for the whole process that you've been taking. But thank you. I think Honorable Bo has clarified a lot, and then you understand as well.
Thank you.
Sir.
I've been hearing you mentioning the word transparency, the due process. If it was done, could have been a different thing. I would think it was that was not happening.
No, I did not say what happened. I just said I'm just making assumptions on what you need in order to have value for money. So I was not talking in terms of what happened. I was talking in terms of what should be in place.
About what should be in place.
Yes.
And during this process, you are the ones who should make it to have to happen, who should put it in place. So right now, during that process, it wasn't happening. It wasn't there.
No, I was not responsible for the sales, and I was talking about, when I say due process, I was talking about sales. Yes. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so very much. Council, is there anything? Not yet. All right. Thank you, Mr. Kurang, for coming. We appreciate your presence.
Thank you.
And then, yeah, tomorrow in the morning, we'll be expecting you again for a continuation of your testimony on a different area. At this moment, meeting is adjourned till tomorrow, Thursday, 11 o'clock. Thank you.
Thank you.
Pray that Almighty Allah grants you the strength and wisdom to continue steering the affairs of this August Assembly. Honorable Speaker, on that note, I beg to move.